And a 49 and a 242 Factor Charles. Hi. So this is what I got. This is what I got today. I'm just, I sit here and I listen to my music, and then I close my another eye. I decided to just do this throughout the day, one at a time. I was trying to close millions at once, and I put myself in a tough spot physically. That's it. Now, how did I get here? Could be someone's thoughts. And I have, everybody's so sensitive and they take things so personally that come out of my mouth. I realize this has been since I was a child. At Hector Charles's mansion, his grandfather had training for the cartel to shoot. Yeah, this is my story. You're not. It doesn't matter how much you try to keep me from the world or keep my story suppressed. You cannot. At some point, the lid pops off. Yeah, pshee, whatever the teapot shit is about to happen. It's fated. You can't keep fucking with my fate like this. You just won't do it. I don't consent, and that matters. Yeah. So this is what we got. The long-term cognitive effects of estrogen, which whether I'm going to talk about the things that are uncomfortable to talk about. There's another realm that layers have been pulled off of, where now we can actually see people coming up near us in some kind of reality, right? You're not crazy. There's it was shadow something. I feel like some of the Phillies players could have been told about it, but said it was something else. It's like a site or a port or an entryway or a gateway, right, to another reality that I think is even different than Mark's. I think some of your people are creating or testing things behind your back, and I'm not telling you because I've helped you out in ways, and you have more than enough means, and you also know or found out some information about who I really am. But the thing, okay, so as I respect you tremendously, but so did some other people who are a lot different than your people, and they know who I am, and they know what I've done for them, and they see me as a mother, a wife, a best friend, a sister, a niece. These are men. He cut off my tongue. You have a good day today, sir. Okay. So I'm thinking, I see it's women a lot, okay? I'm just going to say what I see. And I already said that I'm fucking nuts. But so all the things are going to be true. With some alterations for people who said, well, she said this name, or I thought I heard her think this fucking name, which is even crazier to me. I'm going to crucify this thought and the person that I believe is behind it. This has been just interesting. Anyway, I go to the bathroom and I can tell there's always somebody's ex that said something nice about me. What is this? Is this the exes club or something? It feels like I'm going to be cool. I'm trying to I got to take these off because I'm that shocked and just disgusted. And I can only assume that whether you know it or not, you were born males. And there's this fight between us. You could be attracted to me, even though you look like a woman, whether you remember that you cut your dick and balls off or not. Okay, we can all use that. Let's just all use aliens did it. All right, let's just do that. So aliens fucked with your DNA, and something's happening. My voice is getting deeper. Things have to go back to the natural order, is what I said with everything. True bosses, they live by this. You either wait for things to fall into place naturally when you realize you're meeting too much resistance, or you become the resistance that needs to be there. So this is what we have. It's very childlike. Sometimes I see in my mind a 12-year-old, but then I let that shit clear, and then they tell me it's a 43-year-old in Channel 11, who no one would ever believe was trying to look at what I left in the toilet through virtual reality, because it's just embarrassing, right? Are you embarrassed? You should be. Some of these women I can't, again, this is all going to be public, and it will be done through Oprah, this story. It's fated as well. So before anybody gets into some shit that when it's put up on a big screen in front of the entire planet who's going to watch it all, it's going to be your best show ever. And it may be the one where you finally just say, I don't know if I can deal with what more, you won't have any more content to cover with my story. I made sure of it, ma'am. Thank you for listening. So I see in what is supposed to be believed. I believe some of these entryways or gateways were created to put people in a sick mental state. Yep. And some of us, we had, and instead, we had this awakening, you could say, of a certain gift mentally, is what that did. And we've been through a lot of things. A lot of mental things. See, when you have... We have two. Which leads me to the... I'm just going to skip into this. I feel like we know what I'm saying, right? I do. I want to go gather up these types of females, and just see what happens. Yeah, we'll have just see what... I want every day to just be... I think maybe before we plan some things out... And we could have spent too much time planning. And I say that the universe will just provide whatever we're going to need for that. The long-term cognitive effects of estrogen in older trans women. Remember, you may not know you're trans. You may be a victim here. If you weren't part of a plan to turn men gay or to take mine from me and then just fucking put me in the wilderness and shit, you know? Whatever it was, I don't appreciate it, and it will go back to normal. But more importantly, so will your original DNA composition. So, while we have these women who are now acting like 12-year-olds, this has been an ongoing thing. Some of your husband's dads, uncles, brothers, and nephews are going to be like, oh, this makes sense. But I'm worried because this is my mom. Your mom could actually just have effects of... Your mom could actually be a woman and she's targeted by these weapons of mass destruction, which every time they go to build something, it just falls or just boom, because I said finally out loud that I don't consent to them doing this, period. This is why it hasn't been so bad. So when I say that I don't agree with something, that's all that matters. That's it. Anywhere. When you go on any planet you land on, any universe, you get stuck in any abyss, black hole, I'm there. Yet this is about as who I am as a woman every single day consistently. Some of the men have been thinking, my God, this fucking bitch, this woman, what she talks about, is she giving them ideas, or is she just this thing? The biggest thing ever. But I don't move like I want to have control over. I know where a man's place is with me being this biggest thing. I love when men are in control. I like being under a man with everything. That's just how it should be. So when you're around me as that type of man, you don't feel threatened by me because I don't want to become your... I mean, it just wouldn't behoove me at all. This is not that. This is throwing hissy fits, throwing things at the wall. Oh my God, the need to say the last word. I don't... But if you don't have something else, and this was, I believe, the plan was to make sure that you guys didn't have another option. Here, so another option is someone like me. They make these? That's what I said that day. They make these still? Yeah, I'm right here. And I'm available for the rest of my existence. The thing is, it's such a difference between a woman like me, I mean with everything, and then that. Because now there is the possibility that they knew that they were trans and you didn't, or even you did and was like, well, what am I going to do? They look good now. I get it. That whole thing, I guess you could put that in with God shunning or putting in hell homos. No. I love homos. I don't like the ones who wanted to mimic anime demons with real people. I have a problem with you motherfuckers, I do. And they're the ones, I believe that maybe that story, whoever channeled that part of that book that was so detrimental to existence, I can't stand it. But we'll wind up working out in favor of evolution. Is that maybe there wasn't enough information that came through, and it was, when you sew on, when you sew on, for the women, sew on dicks to try to trap men, or you sew on vaginas and cut your dicks off. It's always your intent, right? I tell you, your intention is everything. What you're connecting yourself to, and what your intention. If your intention is malicious, you're going to get malicious back at some point. And sometimes people are like, well, that didn't happen through them. They gave me a hug and a kiss. You may be experiencing, or you're just immature. This can't be acceptable, though. I think that's what I have to put out there. We can't just accept this. And when you have powers that be that are manipulating things and even offering free surgeries and stuff like that in order for them to come to you, especially for the athletes and people who are in different types of places in life than just the common folk. It seems that they target you. They wanted to make sure that everybody is. I'm all 100%, and I'm not sure how many others there are, but I do know that this is another reason that they stroke me so hard. They do. Yeah, it's stopping for different. Yeah, there's always many reasons why something comes to an end. But for the men, and even for the women that are with women, or you could be around. See, there are moms who this is what I don't like. I don't like when you knew that your child was born a son, and you allowed yourself to be paid off by something, and then you get mad that they're confused in life. You know what I mean? Or for the parents who kind of forced their children to take these things so that you could have a spot on YouTube. And then now when they become a problem child, you forced a life that wasn't supposed to be by forcing them to do this. Yeah, you'll go to hell for that. Yeah, because I fucking said so. I can't stand the people who didn't give their child a choice whether they wanted to have whatever. This is how I came out. So my question now is homosexuality something natural? Or does this have a lot to do with who we choose in life and what lifestyle we choose? Are men really attracted to men that way? Or are you really a female? And do we forget after so many years have gone by because we've been posing as a male or posing as a female that we forget that I'm actually the opposite gender? So I'm straight then. It does. It gets real weird back and forth because I remember talking about how some of us women were confused that some men wanted to become women, but then it's like you want to be with men, but you want to act like a woman, but you hate a woman, and then I forget what it was, but at the time, very spontaneous with the shit that I explained. I don't really like going back and saying it again, and I think I just proved it, so I'm not going to do it. Let's talk about the long-term cognitive effects in older trans women. So you could have some people who have platforms where you're just a little iffy. It's a little iffy when I look at your face, and I can see that when you move, all the filters are moving with you. You look a little masculine now. And I told you some of these companies, I refuse to do it. I refuse to have right, because whether it's me or it just became, look at what this thing, this movement is doing to the world. Nope. Okay, I produced this. I looked on Google one day, and I posted this picture on my community board, and I said, and it was, I looked up a certain type, I said it before, and I'll say it again, Henrietta, if you don't like it, 3829 Arundel Avenue, I'm telling you, right in the middle of the street, I will go in, and I'll get back out somehow. Please, ask him where it is I'm at. I'm sure the whole world would like to see him. I'm made of titanium steel inside my bones. I'm built different. If I hit you once, I'm going to break your jaw. That's a promise. If I connect with your face once, I'm going to break bones in your face. I can feel such hostility, and then because people can't face me, this is how I have to deal with it. Maybe your name was brought up for a reason. So let's talk about the long-term effects of estrogen in trans women. Marky Oliver. Okay. cognitive process such as memory. So it messes with your memory too. These estrogen shots. Now the companies, I refuse to do it. They're going to try and force estrogen in something else. And they could have already done that. Like, okay, well, we'll have some. This is that, you will do. No. See, because something else is bigger than you, and that's me. That something else is me. And there are people, whether they believe, I don't know what to call it, this, that, or the other, but I'm on that side. Thank you. I'm not doing this for views, and I'm clearly, and I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this because this is what it is. And this is why, I don't know how many people have this thing where you can see, they show you hell, and they show you, they're showing you what's real, and then what you've been believing the entire time. You just let it be known that you don't want to be shown anything that's not real. That's it. And then believe that shit. Well, here we go again. Luckily, though, when all this happened, so this is while scientists have researched cognitive side effects of short-term hormone therapy use, cognitive effects of long-term usage have not been studied. Why? Why not, though? Long-term. Because this was an impulsive plan. Okay? I'm just going off the cuff like I always do. This plan was, and it could be that it started getting attention through certain people. With just communication. Like, you see all these fucking chicks looking like dudes, man, or all this trans stuff. Oh, let me finish. I posted this picture. I go to look on the internet for certain panties, right, with ruffles on the back of them, because that's it. One of the first pictures I seen after that, like baby doll panties, was a guy having them on with his dick. This is on the internet, where kids could this isn't on the dark web. Yeah, in fact, there were nude pictures of penises and shit, and women just on the regular internet. It was a little transy. Yeah, it was. Excuse me. I don't know. This is okay for people who have jobs or placements. If these, I would have to say I have to do something. I'm not going to wait till I'm 70 and I'm almost dead because I'm concerned some people are going to kill me. You're going to believe in this thing, right? I mean, didn't so many people believe that God had them? What happened to this belief when it comes to that? If you believe that there are cartel members, or people who are posing as them, or people in the government that are going to hurt you for putting truth out there, that your God you've been worshiping most of your life has told you to do, then let's just say this. Would you think that God would want it any other way? Do you think that God would want you to just sit there and suppress information that possibly came through another realm, through you, or was brought to you because this God thought that you were trustworthy enough? And then what kind of God would that be if that God, it didn't protect you in some way? Now, how many people actually push this, though? How many people test this? And somebody's going to go, I tested it, I went out of a car accident. That's because you had a fucking kid in the trunk. So you can't go into something. I said intention is everything. This would be, I want to go tell the truth, but I have his grandkid in the trunk. Maybe not the best day to make that happen. Maybe wait until you don't need the grandkid in the trunk anymore. I don't know what this is for, but it feels real dirty. The things we forget. This isn't like, I forgot to take the wrapper off the counter before I left because my wife or my husband's a nutcase, and they'll leave it there for me to come home to point out that I left it there. You ever have one of those people? This feels like another side effect, or I wouldn't be talking about it. So you could have just taken it. It's an accident, right? Or I can at least use that card if I want to, because this is fucking petty. You leave it out to let me know. So you didn't like that it was there, but you left it there all day and looked at it. But you're so obsessive compulsive about it's fraudulent. I can't stand phony people. I really can't stand phony women. I can deal with phony men because I relate more to men. I can change that in them. I can facilitate some type of change. I won't change them, but I can put something out there that's honest and consistent where they will mold to that if they wish. This is different again. Just don't. I just cleaned that spot. I walk around in slippers all day, and I make everybody take off their shoes that comes through the day, even the electrician that comes over, to squash me up a little bit every day. But don't take your shoes. I know that you go, and I know that you work all day, and I know that you come home looking at a different heritage completely. But I don't want your shoes in here. To tell a man that he can't wear shoes in his own fucking home after he bought it, he worked for it, he supplied whatever, but I decorated it, right? When did we become, and for the women who have this, where somebody decorated, I just didn't want the bullshit. So I did, right? But that doesn't give you full reign of the home now. So this guy goes to work, or this is for men. This guy goes to work, and he comes back, and the first thing he's greeted with is, take your shoes off. Are you fucking kidding me? This, and this is why a lot of women have a problem with me. I don't fucking care. That man, that's the king. You understand? This is his castle. Let's put it that way. He doesn't take his fucking shoes off unless he wants to take his shoes off. Now, there are some women who know how to make this just known. I don't want to be your mom. I know you can't stand your mom. I agree. So I'm going to be the complete opposite of her, yet I'm going to keep you in check because that's what you need, but I'm going to do it in a way that's going to make you want me every day of your life. These types of women, hold on to them. Whew. This woman will leave her shoes by the door, even if she didn't go out, to let him know when he comes in that I would appreciate it because I do it too. It's just the differences. And this could have a lot to do with estrogen, how much natural estrogen. Because when you're forcing something like that, there are other things involved. Is this pure estrogen? Did you take this out of filling? Christ, they'll try to do this shit through sex. Thank you for those. Listen, thank you for those. I should say this because I only said the bad stuff. Thank you for everybody who felt what it was doing to me and didn't think about it coming from so many other places as well and stopped. Excuse me. I know that this is something that you could withdraw from. And it could be physical for some things, but this could just be shit going back in many areas. Good and bad, yeah. All right, so we have the don't take your shoes off. How would the other woman handle the thing with the trash? They would just pick it the fuck up and put it in the trash can. Otherwise, you're someone looking for an argument. And why are you looking for an argument? I guess they pulling me back to you again. Why are they looking for an argument? Why do you want to argue? Either you know that you're splitting up, or something's almost finalized. This feels like a husband, or this is your parents. Yeah, the husband. Nope. The husband, you could be a Pisces female. You don't have to be, or an Aquarius, but you could, I think that I only want to see them, and for this at night, this feels like I can only allow myself to be there for this. When they say that shit has officially ran dry, that's what happened. And it ran dry in many areas. This is a conversation that either a man had with himself or for the very few women that this pertains to. It's tough. So, oh my God, what was I saying? This is crazy. Oh, there's probably a whole spaceship full of transsexuals. Is that what this is? Is this the Freemasons of Virginia Men's America? Veterans remorse. Can I, excuse me, I know you're probably about to just stick in each other and do some kind of ritual that is going to wind up, well, hey. But you know that, are you taking possible, it feels like, titles or things that were already in place and putting, I don't know, I was interrupted by that, but there's a reason as I'm talking about, so it may not even appear to be all men. And this could just be confirming. If you feel like there's no connection, because I know not all of you are there for the same reason, and you figure out what that meant. Are there trans women now inviting certain men places? I might as well try and land this one before my shit starts reversing. Thank you. I have a lot of brain something going on because of shit that was done to me. Whatever. This is how I deal with it. Thank you, universe, for bringing this back into my mind. The reverse effects. The dark side. We'll say the dark side of the wish fulfillment. This is the darker side of woohoo, Queen of Swords. I got the best surgeon. That's what they said. It's weird to think that the best surgeon would get involved with something like this. Listen, we're going to take you to the top surgeon in Cambodia. Now, don't worry about the fact that it's a fucking dormitory. A dormitory in Cambodia is something. Now, it'll be, but why are they here? Why did I have to crawl through a tunnel and wear a trash bag so I didn't get shit all over me? It's like going back into Shawshank. But I did it. And I believed that this was a top surgeon that, well, you know, I mean, if they knew that I was breaking protocol, the government would come for me. I think you're not a surgeon. And I have to question, why would you be doing something like this? If you're a top surgeon, you should be okay being able to say no. But people don't do this stuff, especially when it comes to chopping off dicks or... Well, I don't want to know how it goes with the other side. I really don't. You could have just been a more feminine guy. This is for people who forced it. Like, I don't feel like I fit in. Me neither. But I'm not going to change what's between my legs because of it. I would just be that woman that fits in more with men. I do, all men, I really do. But that's what someone like me. Now, granted, either way, I'm just that amazing. But you could have just been that girl that became one of the guys that didn't try to fuck them all, or try to be their mom or sister. And you could have been that guy that also became that friend, the guy with the girlfriends who didn't become catty like them. I just feel a lot of regret when it comes to this stuff. And I feel a lot of, I'm looking at my features and I'm wondering, was I born something else and I don't even remember? I feel a lot of that too. I'm talking about the foe, right? The estrogen injections or whatever, however this is, even pills. What else is in it? I think that what happens is, there had to be this change where now there are companies and this is karmic as hell. Yeah, that's it. No, I'm done. My whole fucking staff is starting to look a little iffy. Did they put it in a booster? Did they put it in something else? Did they try to put estrogen in chemtrails, possibly? If anybody even attempts to put them out, boom, drop. I'm tired of fucking breathing in metals and mold and shit. And then yesterday I felt that there were some nuclear plants that were tampered with and that a lot of us felt sick. I feel great today though, because I made it known that every poison and every gas, did we do this yesterday? Yeah, and I feel great today. I also feel great because, did you hear that anybody else hear structures crumbling? We can just admit this shit now, right? You have ears to hear. It's your spiritual ears, I guess you could say. that is because of something that I said, and I believe we all believe, that you keep trying to build while the rest of your countries are failing and falling. What you're building, if it isn't to build structure for everybody in some way or to have that notion, it will fucking fall to the ground. These have to be programmable robots for developing. No. No, this is not, this is the end of the time where people are separated because of wealth. It's going to be your fucking heritage and your DNA and what's deep into your core. That's who's going to be. This is rapture. Are you special when it comes down to the You'll be here. I mean, you'll be somewhere, but there'll be some weird type of thing that doesn't happen or does happen to you during what's coming. And it's the drop or the catastrophe thing that was going to happen in 2027, which some people picked up on. I believe it's going to happen a year quicker, because with all of this stuff happening, with AI constantly growing and growing, and then all this force growing and growing, I believe it's possible that the time as we know it was sped up. This would be some crazy shit where now you wanted to do this, you wanted to take over, you wanted to make people sick, la-di-da-di-da, you were so impulsive, oh, we're going to build again, psh, we're going to build again, psh. It's this constant this with the mental, with the shit in the air. I believe that it could have bumped this up. And if it keeps going, it may bump it up to a few months from now. It is. It's interesting when you break things down with things. Live by the sword, die by the sword is the only way. Eye for an eye, and a tooth, it's the only way. What you do, all those things, it's the same thing as what you do comes back to you. You built most, we'll say, these are for the people who turned, I don't know what the fuck happened to some years, but this power thing got to your head. The real power is in, I'm sorry if you don't want to fucking hear it, Priscilla, but here it is, the fucking DNA. And clearly, if it's agitating you, you ain't got it. You know what I mean? When you have to force power, it's just not in your destiny to be someone in that position. It's just not. It's a thing where when I walk into the coffee shop, I make people uncomfortable. That's it. There is nothing else. There's either people walk in and you immediately you can tell that they're insecure. That's not it. Then there's people you walk in and you feel it. You feel that? Those are the gods. Those are the special, the star seeds. You're going to know now the differences. And then the others is, I'm not going to say you're a non-player character anymore. You can play a character in something. It just won't be this show. Because now I can't be around them. I feel sick. But this thing with the estrogen, how important really is it? How important is it when it comes to going back naturally, or now I don't have that and I can't get it? And no, you cannot extract it from a person the way that you're thinking of, all right? Now you're going to have freaking like Attack of the Trans gathering up real women and trying to... It really is that kind of world, which is why we need this drop. Yeah, it's a different kind of drop. The natural order is balance, which with the ground, air, land, and sea, nigga. Right? Who said that? Everything has to be in balance. Now what happens is, here I am. Because there are some people with this thing where I feel like you're going backwards in age, and they could just sit with goggles on all day, or whatever these things are. I never had a pair on. And if I did and I don't remember, I know that I didn't really want to wear them again. I can just tell. I like my reality. I like things. I like being here and present. For people who are seeing this shit, like, did I see somebody in my fucking bathroom? If they can watch us through, right, then there are people who paid attention. It would be foolish to think that they're the only ones who have something like that. Okay. Once again, I forgot what the fuck I was saying. Oh, this thing with the decline in cognitive skills and everything like that. It feels like this could be the beginning of some type of zombie thing. Let's just talk about what that is. This is a child. Eventually your cognitive skills, if they keep declining, for people who are still, because there are companies who said they weren't going to make this medicine anymore, and I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. You can't see that something or someone else is saying you're going against my fucking plan? Didn't some of your roofs cave in and stuff? What is this? Let's say this. Let's say that I think people need to start questioning people who wear crosses around their neck if they come off, right? Or just even collars. Robes, yes, thank you. Or just people who talk about things like that with God and Jesus. What the fuck was I just talking about again? What does this? It's the USO ship. It's the USSO ship that does this. But you're helping me out because they know. Whoever's gonna watch is gonna know. It's me that forgot. But though I'm forcing someone to think about something. Yeah. So it's the USSO ship 1954, 74. Someone tried reversing it or forcing something. So I'm gonna go at 1954 with the immediate thing that I thought, because if I say it, it fucking is. There's not a ship big enough. You're doing everybody a favor. Don't go to any. I bet there's a doctor for Alzheimer's on this motherfucker too. Don't go to any doctors if you haven't. Who cares about that memory? Who cares? Let's think about this. Oh yeah, people like me. Well, people like me really don't. There are men that have channels where they talk about things that are more dangerous than mine, and I don't know how the fuck you have millions of views and shit like that, but I'm guessing it has something to do with the fact that they believe you were born an actual man. See, this is another thing. You have the people here who are like, we're going to mess with your gender, and then they're like, well, we're going to mess with yours. Okay, I'm done with that. Then we have the, who needs that memory? Is it really that important? Is it the trying to remember it constantly that's putting a strain on the brain? And no, it's a spinal fracture, really. Let me see what that is, or what that entails. Because I think we know here that it's just, you're like a child now. Like a child at play. And it's making some of these people that you're dating feel uncomfortable. This isn't a he. You see how she's standing there naked like he. It's different. I even put boundaries up with the he. Put boundaries up with being naked, and now you just get in this kind of weird. Because I also felt that with these weird people who sit in these hotel rooms and try to force thoughts on people, the spiritual fucking laws. I don't care about. Neither did the girl who split. Haronda, yeah. Would you want to say hello? She split open. Can you hear the blood dripping? Is this your friend you can't find? I think that she said she didn't care about spiritual law too. The problem is people think that when you break spiritual law, you get punished afterward in the spirit realm. No, not done. No, there are people who like to be those people. Your friend is filleted and split the fuck open, and she's gonna die slowly that way. I think that the movies that we see, with certain things being handled just quickly, some people ain't got nothing but time, and I told you they're crafty. Can you feel how I feel about females like you? They feel the same way. This is why this particular message is about the estrogen problem, the lack of it in certain, and too much altered or AI estrogen. What the fuck is that? Let me see if that's online. AI estrogen. AI estrogen blocker. Oh, let me get this out of the way. AI estrogen. Why isn't my... Okay. Why won't it? That's so weird. Okay, we'll do it on this one. What is AI estrogen? AI estrogen, or as aromatase inhibitors, are a class of drugs primarily used in the treatment of breast cancer or in postmenopausal women. They work by blocking the enzyme aromatase, which converts androgens into estrogens. It converts. They work by blocking. Hold on a second. Breast cancer and post. Okay. They work by blocking the enzyme, which converts into estrogen, thereby reducing estrogen levels. Right. Have they, for men where you're angry because I said some things about you guys maybe becoming a little too feminine, even for you men that you can't, I not with this image, I can't. You didn't realize that it was becoming that way. Is it possible that they were putting, do you think? How does estrogen come? Okay, I gotta pause this. I'll be right back. Oh God, they're gonna kill me for this one. Hold on. I wanted to know what happens. Where do you get the estrogen from, and how do you know? How do you create estrogen? Wouldn't you need a prototype of some sort? And so was a woman's estrogen mimicked, and then things added to it? Like, who says this is the correct compound for estrogen? And whether it was actually, let's say this is some manufactured shit and it had nothing to do with a woman's DNA. Now certain products can't be made because the universe will force it. Whether that's something being caught on fire, the prototype going missing, dropping in a sewer, and then now there's a fire in the sewer, an explosion in the sewer, something like that. Weird stuff, just so that somebody can, if something says no, just a no. Now the products, which may have less of something in it, it may have less estrogen, but because we're greedy and we need to be quadrillionaires through this, we're still going to put the product out there. And then you have those who know that something's changing and going back to normal. Andre Watkins, what do you want with underneath my fucking arm, cuz? 3829 Arundel Avenue in Philly. You want to show the fuck up too and put your hands up? I'll take a hit, but I'll tell you what, you're going to hurt your hand hitting me. I'm tired of you motherfuckers that want to poke me from afar and shit like that. Why don't you come fucking poke me to my face? That's all I can do, is invite you here and say it's an invite, so you're not breaking any spiritual law. Okay, you have a good day, motherfucker. I got a big fucking problem with men messing with women when you can't face them. You come here and face me, I will fight you in my fucking street in front of the whole planet, because I know people are paying attention. If you're feeling bold enough, since you like to tantalize women like that, let's see if you can come fucking tantalize this one right in front of my face. We'll see how it winds up. It's going to end up unwell for you, motherfucker. He just got done trafficking 3 kids for somebody who said that I'm going to put all your because I want you to show the fuck up. Can you feel my rage? Can you feel that I can actually physically handle myself? Can you feel the boldness behind what I say? I'm tired of pussies and insecure fucking women who like to mess with people from afar. I understand I intimidate the shit out of you. I should. I understand some of you thought you were fucking bold and you were something until my story came out. And now you're feeling some kind of way. That means you stop. Maybe I should approach them. Maybe I should just see what happens. I mean, I'm a fucking leader. I'm a captain. I'm the baddest fucking woman ever created. That's never going to change. You can put any title you want on me. You can take any title away. That shit will never change. But I want to see how bold you are. Nobody can come to my face. Everybody is so strong and tough from thousands of miles, even thousands of miles away. I find it hard to believe that some of you that are that tough can't make it away to my front steps. Right? I know you may get your wish. That's what some certain people say. That's your answer to everything. I get what I wish for. That was my wish. I did wish for that. I would love to break some jaws, and it could be one after another too. I have a supernatural genetic makeup. that nobody else on this planet has. And then you'll have people say, well, you don't have to work out. Neither do you. I know you look like a man, but you're taking steroids up to three times a day now. Can we just be honest with everything? Who is this? Her name's Herenthia. Is that what they call her, Herenthia? There's a difference between going to the gym and wanting to tighten up as a woman, a real woman, and then there's going to the gym and forgetting that you're a fucking man by birth, so that when you go in there, is this another way that we're going to be able to tell? Yeah, I have a big problem with it. Why? Who's this? Is this a trans woman? I have a huge problem, okay? I know that you know the address. If you would like to come and show your man side with me, anybody that has a problem with what I say, I have a right to speak my fucking mind without feeling like I'm going to get attacked. So if you feel bold enough, this is all, I'm mimicking. To even have a conversation with me is a challenge. I don't feel like it's many men, unless these are men who either you were born women and you were the cowards who changed your gender because you knew that there was going to be an attack on women, and you know that there are certain women we're just not going anywhere. We're not. This attack, it's over. You understand? These attacks on people through this everywhere is over right the fuck now, because I said so. See what happens today. Yeah, eventually this footage is going to be on, that's what I'm telling, for people in news and media and stuff like that, I would start kind of gradually rolling over into something else, because it's just going to be this, we don't give a fuck. Now you're going to see things transpire because I said that anybody who wants to go out of their way to put facts out there will have this weird kind of protection where your enemies would well, I don't know where they're at. It's been 2 weeks. Okay, well, we need to fill their spot now. You know what I mean? Things like that. And when you experience this, it makes it easier for you to move and trust something else has you. Yeah, that's it. This is the estrogen products. I wanted to know how they were ingested. Yeah, products having less estrogen. You don't know. I get the same package, but it doesn't mean it's the same thing. You could have a twin brother thinking that their dick was going to be just the same, right? Is that how it happened to a woman? Yeah. Or they were playing with you and you could tell. I could tell. Some of us pay attention. Some of us, when we're doing things, we're present. We actually want to be doing it, so we pay attention to shit. You know what I mean? Nope. And this would be something that's forced supernaturally, even if the people producing the product don't know that, right? You're actually helping in some way, because now there has to be karmic debt paid on every level with everybody involved in this. Even if you don't know things, it's still something that's attached to you. Whether I took this product, let's say that someone was putting this shit in your food when they thought the shit was pumped up full of estrogen, and now my freaking son, yay, he put on a tutu by accident this morning. It's working. You know when they said that God says that those who, it's basically false word, right? That they have the most interesting stay in hell. That's not true. This would be putting shit in your sons. I wanted a daughter. Everybody wants a daughter until you have that daughter that's prettier than you. And then now they get punished for turning out looking like something different than the mom. Then you get the mom who's jealous of the daughter, who now wants to turn the dad against the daughter. It's just real weird with stuff like it's better to acknowledge things, because if I'm talking about this was something that happened in some of the homes, but we don't play victim. I can tell, like, where's that train that just says victims only? This is an issue. This victim mentality, like I'm the only one that this happened to, or I'm the only one who's had this happen. You know what happened to me? Yeah, most of you don't. There's a reason. I'm waiting for it to come out the right way. I don't need a cheering section for my life. But where was I before with this? The estrogen and things turning back. This could be that. This is that, what did I say? That the guy was, I mean, it went from I can only, I would, the dim light thing, man. She was right. I didn't even realize this was becoming my life, that I was dimming lights. Oh, and I don't think that she noticed. I think that she was glad. She already dimmed them, you dimmed them more. But now she's going to think about it and get upset. Like, oh, I thought that he just wanted to bring a glass of wine out. Now I can only look at you in that light, is what it became. And then it was our friends would invite us to now barbecues and stuff outside. And so now I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm going to go. But then it hit me that the more that this stuff started to, they're looking and acting different. It's more teenage, the adolescent going through puberty male rage, with now trying to make up for that when they can tell that the guy's noticing that with some I'm the little guy. I'll tell you what, it's a sure way to get divorce papers. This guy doesn't feel like a predator to me, where I would love to have the 12-year-old boy with the wig. He doesn't feel like that at all. I'm just, but now I'm thinking, even if I don't go and she goes, they're noticing. So now I have to try and talk her out of going. I have to come up with some kind of lie, with this. And sometimes that thing would be, let's go out to dinner. Yeah, let's go out. I'll plan a whole night. I can't keep doing this. And now my life is about trying to hide her. It's different than when I wanted to hide my ex. I wanted to hide them from the world because the world loved them. This is different. I want to hide this one because I'm embarrassed. And then what happens is, unfortunately, now I make these plans and I'm hit with a drunken or a pill-induced let's have sex in the car, or now they want to be on me in the car, and now this is, I anticipate that now, which that causes conviction. That type of anticipation will cause conviction with oneself. It will. I already know that this is how it's going to go. I don't like that situation, so I removed that situation by creating this situation that I don't like almost as much. But what do? Inevitably, you're going to have to leave. Because if you don't, I don't know who you are or what you're capable of, but you may be capable of some things that you weren't before, or some things may come back. This woman with this bickering and fighting like they are your younger son, because you would feel more inclined to grab him by the throat. It's different when they have female parts. This is another thing that's fucking with men when it comes to arguing and wanting to hit, you know what I mean? Why do I want to hit them? Because yourself could be picking up that they're male. Oh man. Did you feel that? Certain women, when you want to hit them, it's because you love them so much. You know, I could kill you. And then you usually wind up just railing them to death, right? And then just telling them in your head how much you hate them. And I just deal with that. This is, again, something else. This is, they walk in and I think about breaking their jaw. They didn't even say anything yet. Here's your coffee. It could be that. I practice my voice because it's changing. I can't sound like Philly, who's really not Philly. The differences, huh? And me and the other one, immediately, just the way that I moved, somebody noticed that immediately. Thank you, Sharon. Is that your name, Sharon? Sharon? Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I do. Because I know however people feel about me is one thing, but we feel a certain way about people, but that doesn't mean that we can't say something honest. Whatever it is. Here's your coffee. Oh, please don't tell me that you made me breakfast today. All right, and here's your breakfast. I figured maybe we'll eat it outside. Right, we'll eat it outside. Maybe it's an opportunity for us to, well, first I want to show off some new clothes that I got. And I set it up so that, oh man, the planning that comes with being insecure with how you look. Yeah, on both ends, I guess, now. Because she plans things according to light. and when she can get some pills to be more uninhibited, and he may do the same. Both of these people could just be like, well, this is going to happen tonight. Even if it's just I have to sit outside, they're going to follow me outside, I might as well get an oxy off my boy who still has them somehow. I would do the same thing. But then what happens is now you get uninhibited too, and they look good for a few hours. And now what you've already cleared out and we're close to kind of just like the cork is brought back. That is still you tell, and we do it all the time. I can't say that I haven't, and I won't do it again possibly, where I could say I can't deal with you anymore, and then I have a few drinks, and then some pure fentanyl that's under Hargrove, and say, oh, you look better than you did 15 minutes ago. A lot. If you could. I mean, if some of you could. I know that after this, we're going to fight. I already know it. I know it. And this is, I want to kill him. Look at it. Hold on. Look at this. Hi. I'm going to do this again. Hey, good morning. Here's your breakfast. I got your bagel. This is it. I figured maybe we eat outside. What is up here? And here, this is his response. Look at, I want to fucking kill her. The more that she tries to be nice, because he can feel the phoniness, and this guy's having some kind of divine masculine awakening thing. Reggae ragtop. That's the reggae ragtop. And I think they're all lowercase. I think that was just it. Yep, no problem. I feel there's two motorcycles. I knew it. There's two cars back to back with a bike. This is when you hop on the bike. And there are men who are like, well, I don't have a brand new bike. I don't have a jet bike. I have this, which is my uncle's bike. Who gives a fuck? Some of you have dirt bikes. Go on that. Some of you has got other bikes. Some of you have nephews and shit, or you have razors and stuff. You got to get out. What I don't see here in this entire row is any kind of talking. It goes right into, I want to kill her. I don't want a maid and I don't want a mom. What I want is for you to have just remained a little more confident. It doesn't have to be you needed to remain like you did look like before, or even to be or look as young as you did before. But I need you to feel good enough about yourself where it doesn't affect me. Where I don't have to be that person you're cheering. I don't have to be that. I don't want to tell you you look good, especially when you don't. It makes me feel sad. Then I got to go to work saying, I told them that they look good today. This is an honest person, and now they're being forced to lie. That's another thing that's convicting. Now that you add these things together, I see why you feel like this. What you should do is see you're holding something in, right? That you can see, this is it. This is it. This is, I'm holding in the fact that I know that something on you is manipulated. It's not the love that you show for me, okay? Because I do feel like this could be more of a love-hate thing, where it's not that, although I do see a decline in empathy, where before it was, oh my God, why did she get hurt on me? Now it's like, well, get over it, okay? What happened here? What changed? The man gave up a lot of the power that he has as a man, just of the home, period. Some of us women are a mix of tradition, current, and future. If you can balance everything in life, you become a very dangerous person to many. Yep. This is I don't even want their attention anymore. I'm just living here avoiding interaction. It's not, I don't feel, like he's saying, please don't come out here with me too. Thank you for the coffee. Thank you. for the bagel. You know I don't like this. And what is this? You know the times where it's like, oh, I feel the backhanded compliment, but this is an action. That's a backhanded compliment. Here is your charcuterie board I made for you, and then they'll pull out one of your finer blades. We'll say, no. Why are you putting this knife on my charcuterie board? You know what I mean? I use this for other things. This is for someone specific. It felt like a threat. That's what it feels. I don't feel threatened. I feel like that was your intent. That's enough for communication. And here it is, Ace of Swords. I'm not going to mention the knife thing because I know that that's a reaction to something else that I'm going to speak on. So I'm not going to give that to you, but what I am going to bring attention to is the fact that I'm just disappointed in what you're doing to yourself, or the lack of what you're doing to yourself, and I'm not attracted to you anymore. And this is why when you can tell that I'm quiet, just leave it be. I got to hear, there it is, and then you hear nothing. Something's up on their end is what I would do. One, I really wouldn't be in that situation often because I can feel before this that something's up, and I would know that had nothing to do with me, or it shouldn't. And I would once again just give him his space. Let him figure out whether it has something to do with you or not on his own, instead of trying to force that somehow. I can't stand your voice. I can't stand the just the extra layer that doesn't need to be there. And it makes me, instead of making me feel at peace with what this is, or even want to try and work this out, it makes me feel uncomfortable. Do you guys just want your names, Daniel Dobbs, which goes as Daniel Watson? Do you just want me to say your names out loud so that people can come and take care of something when it comes to you for what you're doing? Because some men's little girls can feel this on their privates too. It's called a private for a reason. So he also has some connection to somebody else who's in fucking gaming. And I'll tell you what, Lee, you motherfucker, you can't run, right? There are some people who found out that you knew that some people were going to use your gaming gateway, we'll say, to molest. Your empire is about to be taken over by some others who also found out some things that I'm going to leave. I don't want to. Yeah, thank you for what you're doing. Oh. I can't wait to see some of you again. Mm-hmm. So, I'm just disappointed. What are you disappointed in? This is excessive. This is excessive injections is what it feels like. Excessive products. You're mixing all these things. Pick one. You want to use the products, you want the injections, you want the knife. Doing everything is kind of like you're turning yourself into a piñata. We beat piñatas, but now you're a piñata with a short fuse. That's never good for someone like this who walks with a cane. If I thought that there was going to be something sweet that came out of it, yes, I would beat it to death. Yeah, well. This quick, impulsive need, this response. No, I'm just going to sit here. I'm just going to sit out here by myself. But you do that every day. I don't feel a lot of verbiage coming off this guy, and I think there was a thing that went by where that's all I did was yell back. I don't have it in me anymore. Now I just sit there and I'm entertained by what comes from this side now. I had to change my perspective. She's right again. I am, even this way, for men, the woman that they need in their life in whatever area. And for some of them, I played many roles like that. And I do it well. For the women who want to be that role, you only play mom. Not all of you, but for those of you who know what I'm talking about, they will only play mom or sister, but it's very rare that at some point you get the friend out of that one, which is the most important. These are just roles, right? Sometimes you need to be that nurturer for them, which would be mom or sister or aunt, right? You just combine them into one. The consistent friend comes with needing to tell them and even taking repercussion, which could be you don't talk to them for a little bit. That's sacrifice. I told them what they needed to hear. I knew there was a possibility that they weren't going to want to see me ever again. But you know that because you are this kind of woman, they're going to have to see you again. Which would be another reason why some people went so far with the memory erasing thing. Because when you have that kind of plan in place to remove women, these types, men miss them. So do women. Even for the men where I'm not even sure. I mean, I could be a woman. Look at my face. You know what I mean? I'm pretty. You're a certain type of person where you would miss that kind of woman too. But this to me is I can't get any truth out of you anymore. And this is, first it was, are you dipping into the kids' college fund? Or then for someone it was, are you giving hand jobs to the doctors in the neighborhood? Because someone called me and told me that you are. Or that you're giving hand jobs for injections. So you're a prostitute when you do this. I don't care if you are someone that lives in a home that's a few $1 million. You're a prostitute. When I don't have any problem with prostitution. I have a problem who has a problem with prostitution who's prostituting. So you think that prostitution just means that there's a junkie on the street in Brooklyn somewhere or in fucking Chicago, right? You think that that's the only form of prostitution is somebody who needs to do it. Like, so do you. You need to do this, clearly. Why, though? That's the question. Why do you, someone like you, who's married to a surgeon, need to do something like this? Either they forgot the code to something, they had forgotten about some previous engagements or business decisions where it didn't go so well that they left you out of, that now they have to try and either facilitate your death somehow. So that, once again, this is a disappointment with the truth. So it could be that a lot of these problems could be alleviated if the right things were said at the right time. Which here would be, please don't come outside. Please, oh man, I hear the door. This would be this. Instead of going, do you have to come outside? And then starting it that way, this is what you say. I'm not sure if you noticed, but over the past few weeks, I've been sitting out here in the morning by myself, just kind of I'm at peace. Yeah, I have. Okay. That's it. Like I said, there's no need for extra words. You want people to grow mentally. In order to do that and get them out of this cognitive decline, they have to figure things out on their own. You're just going to give them just enough. I'm going to give you a little bit of dirt. I'm going to give you one seed and a little bit of water, and I want you to figure this the fuck out for yourself. Otherwise, you become a part of why they're declining. You have a hard time receiving the message. That's what this is. But like I said, there is that on the other side too, where, see, with some people, it's I want my silence to say things, and that's great. Not everybody receives that the right way, though. You know what I mean? In their defense, putting something out, laying the groundwork, the brickwork right, is important. So that now they know what they have to do to alter some things to try to make this work, even if it's until a final split happens. I need to make this work smoothly, even if we're not staying together, because this is my fucking life attached to this shit too. I want my life to be as peaceful and smooth as it was, and I will not let this breakup, which is supposed to be opening up other doorways, now become my biggest wall. It just doesn't make sense. And with divorces and things like that, holding on to things because of them being material, it causes a lot of delays and shit. Like, just fucking take it. And I mean, what if it was somebody else taking it? I would have no choice. What if now all of a sudden, like, the Hot Pop came and they took it and forced me into, just see it like that. I'm never going to see it again. My time with this is up. It's another cord connected to something that's not a someone. That's another thing I think that we program ourselves to look at first. I need to cut all cords with them, not with that. That comes with them in some way. Memories that maybe now have just ran their course, or that were never good to begin with. Memories that I had to fabricate to other people. I shouldn't have to fabricate my memories, right? When you have to add great things to memories consistently, maybe those memories are the ones that should be going, or this is, I don't need to create any more memories with this person or in this particular situation. They just don't serve me. I hope that this helped for many. See you.